Good evening. So I'm going to do something a little different for you guys tonight. Occasionally, we do have Sasquatch encounters on my show here. We don't do them too often. I feel like there are so much better shows out there than mine for Sasquatch encounters. Dixie Cryptid comes to mind for a good YouTube channel. If you're into podcasts, of course, there's Sasquatch Chronicles. Wes Germer's the king of encounters, and he does a great job. But every now and then, people send one to me, and I figure I can throw it up with some pictures and read it to you guys and let you know what's going on. This one is from Pennsylvania, from Monroe County, which I guess is near the Poconos. And there's a lot of Sasquatch encounters from Pennsylvania over the years. There's also quite a few Dogman encounters. I'll leave a link in the description from later last year, from when I had a Dogman encounter sent to me by a viewer. So you can check that out in the description. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to read his email here. We're just going to call him Travis by his first name. We don't need to disclose exact locations or his name, and I think you guys understand why. And it's pretty typical for most Sasquatch encounters. So here we go. Hello, Matt. My name is Travis, and I want to tell you about my encounter over the weekend and maybe get your take. So this happened both Friday and Saturday night when I was visiting my friend in Monroe County, PA. I'm from Michigan, so I'm really not too familiar with any of the Sasquatch hotspots or anything like that down there. Anyways, while I was staying there, every night after dark, around 9 or 10, we would hear a slap or a boom, like something hitting the side of the house. I asked my two friends that I was visiting what that sound was, and they told me it started about a week ago, and they're not really sure what it is. They assumed it was the side of the house popping from the cold, which it very well could have been the first night. What was weird for me is it only happens after dark and never during the day, so that was a bit odd. I ignored it that Friday night and went to bed, and soon after I arrived. Well, Saturday rolled around and the same thing happened again. I went outside to check it out and didn't see anything. Well, the intervals between the noises were about an hour or so apart, and I ignored it. My friends noted that it was getting louder until it happened right beside us, and we all went outside. I went outside armed with a handgun. My two friends went outside with a baseball bat, and the other one was unarmed. We didn't see anything. I jokingly said it could be Bigfoot, and one of my friends just laughed and said the other one just kind of brushed it off. Well, the next sound we heard was about 45 minutes later. The sensor light also went off, and my friends swear he saw he heard ice snow crunching and didn't see any tracks because it was mostly ice. Well, that same friend also brushed it off and says he could hear some heavy breathing, but my other friend said it was just the wind. The next time I heard it, my friends were breathing, and he says he heard the tree breaks as well, like large tree breaks and snaps. After the incident, I went to sleep, but from what they've told me, the same thing happened the next night or two. I wasn't really able to stay long enough to look outside, but I hope to convince them to look around the wood lines of the property while I'm gone. Another interesting note is they have a large Labrador who barks at the slightest sound, but needn't even bother, and sometimes he was whining when it happens. I could also be a number of different things, but I always think the possibility unknown is fascinating. Tell me what you think. Sincerely, Travis. So I found this encounter interesting, not because it was a full daylight encounter or anything super aggressive, although I would consider this a fairly aggressive encounter. There's a few things that really stuck out to me that really rung home, especially to me personally, because this was very similar to an encounter that I had. It's pretty well documented on this channel, where I was up at my dad's place, middle of the woods, and I had a couple dogs with me, a beagle and a golden retriever, and something slapped the side of the house really loud and woke me up. And it was quite scary. Then I heard heavy breathing, and the dogs were whimpering and crying, and I could hear something walking around outside. And the next day, the dogs wouldn't go any farther. They were like wanting to, they would go to the bathroom and go right back inside, which these dogs the day before were running around everywhere, just being little jerks. And the beagle especially, he barks at everything. He's super excitable, and he was calm, quiet, and slightly, not calm, but he was quiet and slightly whining. And so when he said that about the lab, that really stuck out to me. If it was just the popping, you might be able to say maybe it was the boards on the side of the house or something like that. But the fact that the light came on and they could hear something running away, combined with the breathing, and then they heard snaps out in the trees. To me, this sounds like a pretty well documented Sasquatch behavior. Like I said, I experienced something very similar, and I know lots of other people. If you're listening to Sasquatch Chronicles, like I mentioned, they've had lots of reports of similar things like this happening over the years, especially people who have them on their property. And I don't know why they do this. I think you can surmise that maybe it's an intimidation thing. Maybe I don't know. Maybe these guys were out more and a dog was running around, and there was more cars parked out front, whatever, more activity, and the Sasquatch didn't like it. Maybe he was bored. I don't know. Sometimes I just think that they're screwing with us, or maybe he was trying to lure somebody outside. That's the really scary part. Maybe they were slapping side of the house to try to get people to go outside. And then maybe when 3 dudes went outside, one with a gun and a baseball bat, the Sasquatch thought better of it. Maybe it was hoping for just one person to do who knows what, eat them, abduct them, scare them even further, laugh at them, do nothing. Who knows? We don't know. But it all kind of lines up to me that something was slapping the house, something was getting their attention, and for what devices, I don't know, but it sure does seem like a lure. And I think when the 3 guys came outside together, and so armed at the whatever was doing it, quickly decided not to. And that also brings me to why I don't think it was a human. To stand out in the cold, I assume it's cold. If it's got snow on the ground, it's nighttime, it's cold. And I assume that they were, if it was a person doing it every hour or so, waiting around in the dark for nothing to slap a side of the house, then go hide in the bushes some more, go slap a house in the side of the bushes, then to watch guys come outside with a gun and a baseball bat. If I'm a person playing a prank, I wouldn't want to be a dark shadow in the bushes after that. Not that these guys are going to shoot in the dark, but you never know what's going to happen. So, and then to trigger the light and to run off like that, I mean, it's a good way for certain people. It's a real good way to get shot in the back or have the cops called on you or something else and stand out there in the cold. I just don't buy it was a human. Now, if you're into cryptids, all sorts of things, and, Pennsylvania has its share of Bigfoot encounters, has its share of Dogman encounters, has its share of all sorts of strange creatures, just like we get all up and down the East Coast and through the Great Lakes area and the South and the Midwest. It seems like very much all over the country people are seeing strange things. Now, could it have been this Dogman creature people are saying? I have no idea. To me, this seems a lot more of the MO of what Bigfoot. I mean, Dogman, you hear them looking through windows a lot and doing more overtly scary things. This seems kind of tricky. Like I said, typical Sasquatch behavior, and it really sticks with me because this is similar to the account that I had. And I've actually had a number of people reach out to me from Pennsylvania. And when you look at the topography there, you look at the mountains, you look at, farmlands and farmhouses in the national forest, it seems very much to me that there's a lot of habitat for these things. And you hear a lot about deer populations and even bear populations. And if they could be supported, a number of creatures, including this Dogman creature, like I said, because, Pennsylvania, I know it's a big state, but, people see this Dogman creature there too, and that's even more scary. I'd hate to be lured outside. I'd rather face a Bigfoot than one of these things any day. If Bigfoot's sinister, these things are comparatively evil. And, so I want you to let me know what you guys think in the comments. I highly doubt it was a human. Maybe if it was just the slapping of the house or the popping noises, you could attribute it to the house settling or water getting under shingles and making popping noises as it freezes, I guess. But the light going off, the heavy breathing noises, it's all very creepy. So that's kind of my 2 cents and my take on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment. A little bit different video for you guys this week. If you like what you see, please give this video a thumbs up. And please hit subscribe. I know the videos are slowing down lately. I got quite a bit going on at home, and I just don't have the time to sit down and make, 2 or 3 or 4 videos a week. It's probably going to be 1 or 2 here for a little while. But thanks for bearing with me. I'll try to get content out to you guys whenever I can. And stay safe in the woods, folks.